Check this out. Ready now?
Okie dokie.
Sonic movie fans, it is now finally official. After months and months of speculating wonder who is going to be the voice of Shadow the Hedgehog, it has now been confirmed to be Keanu Reeves. Oh, we're going to be getting into all this along with the weird, messy journey it took us to get this reveal. But it's not just going to be about my opinion. I want to know from you, Sonic fans. Are you excited that Keanu Reeves is going to be the voice behind Shadow the Hedgehog? Are you disappointed it didn't end up being anybody else? I know a lot of people were riding on that Hayden Christensen train. Or even if you think Keanu Reeves is just a bad choice to play Shadow the Hedgehog, I'd like to hear from you too. But okay, let's just dive into it here. So CinemaCon happened just last weekend, and all the Sonic fans around the world were like, this is it. This is going to be the time they announce who Shadow the Hedgehog is going to be in the third Sonic movie. And well, it looks like we were technically correct. We just didn't know that it would only be told to one specific person at CinemaCon. Right before this news got officially revealed through the Hollywood Reporter and all these official trades that now make it 100% confirmed, it's no longer a rumor. Keanu Reeves is our Shadow the Hedgehog. There was one person who let the beans spill. Over the weekend, the YouTube channel John Campia posted on his community notes that he heard that it's not going to be Hayden Christensen voicing Shadow the Hedgehog, and that who he got word of that is voicing Shadow would make fans very happy. Oh, that got all of us wondering and speculating. I knew from the beginning it would never be Hayden Christensen. Not because I think he's a bad choice or anything like that. If anything, when I heard that rumor, I was like, dude, that's actually kind of awesome. He would be a great Shadow the Hedgehog. It was just because it was a rumor that came from nowhere. There was no reliable source attached to it. It was just one random Twitter account that posted it out there, and then a bunch of Sonic movie update accounts just took it and ran with it. So I knew it was always a shot in the dark, and that just wouldn't end up being the case. But I would have been very happy if it was Hayden. Well, then, to our surprise, today, Monday, this same YouTube channel, John Campia, was getting ready to do his daily movie live stream show where the thumbnail revealed Keanu Reeves would be the voice of Shadow the Hedgehog. And that right there was like, oh my god, he's just letting it loose right there in the thumbnail, spilling the beans. I was quick to start making videos and inform you guys and let you know everything about it, but I really wanted to hear the context about how he got this information. And remember, John Campia was the guy who famously leaked Spider-Man No Way Home to the world and spoiled it for a lot of people, telling us,
look closely at Tobey Maguire's dick.
So just because he was now telling me to look at Shadow's dick, I wasn't going to believe the man. I wanted to hear his explanation on how he heard Keanu Reeves would be the voice of Shadow, because that was such a great casting choice, it was almost too good to believe for me. And well, at CinemaCon, he said he was attending an after party that had a lot of the industry insiders there, and somebody connected to Paramount went up to him and said, hey, it's not going to be Hayden Christensen, it's going to be Keanu Reeves. John Campia said that he even then confirmed with another Paramount employee that told him the same thing. And then after letting it out in the world for a little bit, an hour later, the Hollywood Reporter finally confirmed it. So this is where we are. It's just so funny that Paramount had the information. They knew Keanu Reeves would be the voice of Shadow at CinemaCon, but they thought, we don't have to announce it at CinemaCon. Let's just let this YouTuber slightly announce it into the world, and then we'll just announce it an hour later in an article. Maybe they were hoping Keanu Reeves would like show up on stage and they can do all that, but I feel like it's kind of a missed opportunity that they didn't announce Keanu Reeves at CinemaCon. But still, I just found all of that funny. Now getting on to just focusing on Keanu Reeves is our Shadow. How do I feel about it? Obviously, I love this casting choice. Keanu Reeves was actually one of those names that people had been suggesting since Shadow showed up in the post-credit scene of Sonic Movie 2. People have always wanted Keanu Reeves to voice, and I understand the man does have that voice. Shadow is a unique character, you know, he's dark, he's brooding, he's depressed, but there is also a side of Shadow that is sentimental, that can be understanding, that does have a compassionate side. So you need a voice that can be able to do both and have that kind of switch, and I feel like Keanu Reeves does have that in him. So many lines from his John Wick movies I could just go back and see, and I can totally hear Shadow saying those lines.
Tell them all. Whoever comes, whoever it is, I'll kill them. I'll kill them all.
And you know, I also completely forgot about this, but Keanu Reeves recently did a famous voice. He was Batman.
I'm supposed to have superpowers.
They're overrated.
He did the voice for Batman in the Super Pets movie, and although that was a very exaggerated, dark, brooding version of Batman made for comedic purposes, he knocked it out of the park with that voice. I gotta believe Shadow is going to be very serious in this movie. I doubt he's gonna be the jokey, light-hearted person like a lot of Sonic's friends, whether it Knuckles or Tails, but we still know the Sonic movies have plenty of comedy in them, so if the moment calls for it, I know Keanu can make us laugh. The other exciting part about this, and something to look forward to with Keanu being the voice of Shadow, it does not look like Keanu will just be voicing Shadow in this third movie. Recently, the producers of the Sonic the Hedgehog franchise came out and said that they want their next couple of Sonic movies or properties to feel like Avengers level events, which in a weird way confirmed they have plans for Sonic 4, Sonic 5, Sonic 6. They said that they want to get to a point where they have so many characters showing up on screen. They even specify that thanks to the TV streaming angle, like they're doing with the Knuckles TV series, allows them to explore other characters they might not have time for in the movies. And I think Shadow is one of those characters you definitely maybe want to explore a little bit more outside of this third movie, whether it be in his own solo film, which I would way rather prefer, but he could easily get a 6-episode origin story series on Paramount Plus. And Sonic fans right now know exactly what I'm talking about. I don't want to ruin it too much, although I feel like it's pretty obvious what Shadow's origin is now, but he has a story that connects him to, you know, the grandfather of Robotnik and this relationship he forms with a human child named Maria, who is cast in the movie. So we're going to see snippets of that origin in Sonic 3. I just don't know how big of Shadow's origin is going to play a part into the movie, whether it's a large part, a small part. I feel like it could just be hinted at here and then further explored in his own little show or movie. And you know, it is a little scary hearing that, you know, the Sonic universe is about to be expanded and have this cinematic universe feel to it with movies and TV shows, but going back and watching the first 2 Sonic movies, they have set this up really well.
Yes, Keanu! You are a national treasure.
When I find you.
Just through a couple of lines. So for one, we know Shadow has been cryogenically frozen for about 50 years, right? That's what we see in the post-credits scene, and if they stay true to the origin, it's going to be connected to Robotnik's grandfather. And while there is a line in the first Sonic movie where Donut Lord James Marsden mentions that his family have been looking over Green Hill Zone for over 50 years.
I mean, there's been a Wachowski protecting this town for more than 50 years.
A file buried deep in our system and dating back over 50 years.
You're telling me that number isn't a coincidence? His family and bloodline has been connected for 50 years, and now Shadow was cryogenically frozen 50 years ago? That means in this backstory they could someday pull off with Shadow could involve the great-grandfather, the dad, whatever, of Donut Lord trying to solve this Shadow Project case going around in their town. I don't know. I'm obviously stretching here, but what I'm saying is Keanu Reeves, they got this voice talent to stay in this franchise. They have plans for more movies, more shows. He's not just going to be in Sonic 3. They probably have a contract with him to be locked down for multiple projects, and that's just exciting. So yeah, I'm fully on board with Keanu Reeves being our Shadow the Hedgehog. I am sad it wasn't Hayden Christensen or Robert Pattinson like some people were mentioning, but this is still a really great pick. Let me know from you guys, now that Keanu Reeves has been officially announced to be the voice of Shadow the Hedgehog, are you happy with this? Where do you think they'll take the spin-offs, including Shadow? Will there even be any spin-offs with Shadow? If he gets a movie or a show, I'd love to know. Don't forget to like, subscribe, follow me on Twitter at 3C Films or on TikTok at 3C Films. But as always, I'm Chris. Take care.